29. What is characteristic of both sound waves and electromagnetic waves? They require a medium. That's not true of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves, like light, can travel through a vacuum. So it's true of sound waves. You can't have sound in a vacuum. You need air for sound to work. So they don't require, electromagnetic waves don't require a medium. And electromagnetic waves are not longitudinal waves, they're transverse waves. So if we draw, what's an electromagnetic wave? It's actually going to be kind of hard for me to draw here, but I'll give it a shot. So it has this transverse piece, which is just like a sinusoidal curve that represents the electric field. And then so that's in the plane of your screen. So if you're looking at that, I literally mean that those waves are right there in the screen where you see them. But what I'm about to draw now, I mean for it to be going in and out of the screen. And I'm going to take a shot at this. Yeah. Okay, so not very good. But what I'm getting at, if you can imagine that these guys are the electric field, and this here is perpendicular to that, and that's the magnetic field. So it's the combination of the electric field and the magnetic field acting in concert that makes an electromagnetic wave do what it does. And it's certainly, even though there's these two things happening perpendicular to each other, they're both very much transverse waves. They're not longitudinal waves. So that one is not good. And they're mechanical waves. That's not true. They're not, electromagnetic waves are not mechanical. Right? They're electric and magnetic, but they're not mechanical. When I think mechanical, I think of an example I talked about in a previous problem where you imagine that you pick up this rope to this point here and then quickly pull it down, and then that sends a pulse through the wave. That's a mechanical wave. You physically move this thing up and down, and then it sends this pulse across the rope. And if you keep doing that up and down many times, then you'll end up with this sinusoidal pattern. That's a mechanical wave, so electromagnetic does not fit that either. They transfer energy. That's the best choice. Regardless of how they do it, whether it be mechanically, electrically, or using magnetism, all waves transfer energy, just different forms of energy.